You need to talk to people with disabilities just to be sure that they are listening at you at all. I think this was obvious, but obviously I was wrong. Because when I started pitching my new PI agency to different businesses and to different people, I got surprising amounts of surprises. Because I think people without disabilities are failing to understand that us people with disabilities, I'm blind, um, have trouble understanding their content. Their PR stack is all nice, it's optimized for searchability, for even AIs and stuff like this, but for us, sometimes it's quite confusing. And having the European Accessibility Act, because I'm a Bulgarian person and I live in Bulgaria, is all nice. The act itself says amazing things. But what happens when it's applied to actual B2B and actual e-com decisions? It's tokenistic, and it's getting tokenistic by the IT sector itself, because there are IT companies who are consulting companies who are just suppliers of IT goods and services, and that's all fine. But the way that some of them are hiring people with disabilities and are requiring those people with disabilities to become QAs just to check accessibility and then write exclusive things which are created by senior QAs who are not people with disabilities and who are not that well trained and who will never get the same experience as an actual person with actual disabilities is faltering, and it will continue falter, and it will continue create troubles for organizations, business organizations and country organizations, local organizations, whatever. Because the European Accessibility Act is about e-commerce, about B2B, about B2C. But actually, there are other already active European requirements, American requirements for different national and regional and whatever organizations made by the country, by the state, by the local authorities, which have to be accessible as well, and they are not, because again, even though some of the IT suppliers or IT consultants hired people with disabilities to do the manual testing themselves, the actual results that the actual businesses or the actual local or national administrations are seeing are highly altered by people who are without disabilities. They stripped down everything that we can give to the clients, be them businesses, be them local organizations, national organizations, whatever. And they are pitching a very stripped down and very thin and very, very, very dull project, and this project is on weak fundamentals because it doesn't respect the natural input of people who are trained to be QAs, who are trained to assess the physical environment, but who are not listened just because they are not senior and just because they are people with disabilities. And those companies, the IT consulting businesses, failed to acquire us and to make us more senior previously. And they're continuing to misunderstand how to implement us. So, actual businesses who want to sell to people with disabilities, and actual authorities or NGOs or whatever who want to work with actual people with actual disabilities need to come to us. to actual people with disabilities, to actual people who are consultants in disabilities, in accessibility, because the IT suppliers and the IT service companies are after quick gains. That's it. They are not changing their business mindset just because they need to do accessibility now. Years ago they needed to do ML, was the fancy word. Now they have to do AI, and they have to do AI more than they have to do accessibility. Trust me, AI is quite more trendy than accessibility. So when I'm creating my PR agency, I'm working on that. I'm going to create the natural PR stack, written content, visual content, and all of that. But on top of it, I'm able to suggest you the actual accessibility stack. The actual stack, which includes stacks for people with different disabilities, people with different capabilities, people who are perceiving information differently. Because the consulting companies, we are not even talking yet about the IT consulting companies. We are talking about the big consulting companies who are, which are, the big ticket clients are constantly going to them. They are even not considering accessibility. If you've ever read a report coming from the big consulting companies from the USA or from other regions of the world, accessibility is very low, low or existent, non-existent like metric in their requirements. And this is what I'm trying to change. Because actually, there are people with disabilities. There are people with disabilities with buying power. There are decision makers. There are stakeholders who are actual people with actual disabilities. And the regular consulting business, aiming at speed, at delivering at speedily fashion, is not changing the fact that they are aiming at speed and at delivering in a speedy manner, but they are doing a poor job at implementing how people with disabilities, what people with disabilities need in order to buy or use this exact thing. And the actual needs of the actual people with disabilities are not going away because some jerky, manager of a QA company or of a consulting company wants to receive their money faster with lower efforts. The actual needs of actual accessibility are remaining. And the businesses and the organizations which are able to create a PR stack, a marketing stack, an integrated communication stack for their clients or for the people who they have to work with in order to, achieve their goals, are remaining, are vivid, are working and kicking and seeking for accessibility. Because accessibility is not something which is built for different people to be easy to get to your services or to your brand or to whatever. Accessibility is the way that a lot of people are able to take to your business, because previously it didn't exist. Previously, your business, your service, your pathway, your funnel wasn't existing for a lot of people with disabilities, no matter how quickly you did it, no matter how beautifully it looks, no matter how awesome the content around it looks like. There are more than 15% of the entire population of our planet which is not able to interact with your services and with whatever it is what you're doing, just because you didn't build the actual stack, the actual pathways, the actual user journeys which are actually accessible. Because let me tell you, when you are creating a story, which is a part of some, thing that you are doing, some product that you want to pitch, when you write the number 5 in the caption of this meticulously crafted story posted on the social media, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, YouTube, this number 5 is not talking much to a people with dyscalculia. This state prevents people from understanding actual numbers. You need to write down the exact letters FIVE, 5, and not use the number 5. Because otherwise, the person will not understand you. It's not going to be easier for them to come to your business. The only time that they will actually consider coming to your business or to your service is the moment that you actually mean something to this person, and you mean something to this person while actually addressing their need of writing down actual numbers or actual letters or whatever their need is. It is not related with the regular output of regular consulting businesses for now. And it's up to you to come to us, actual people with actual disabilities, with actual skills, with actual businesses, to consult you so that we can unlock this more than 15% of the people who are not even considering your businesses with their buying decision power and with their influence, so that you can pour money into our businesses and we can continue our work in getting your business in front of the minds of more people. Because here is where regular PR and regular marketing is failing to even start to comprehend where the unlocking mechanism is. You are constantly talking about getting in front of eyes, getting a lot of clicks, getting a lot of things. No, you have to think about minds. But you can think about minds when you have someone who is like me, who is a PhD in psychology and who worked in traditional media and who worked with social media, who is an actual influencer, with disability, who does his content alone and who has natural ways of existing online and getting to you alone without being exclusive to a lot of disabilities. This is what we need to do together. Thank you and have a very nice day.